Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series movie Ant-Man action figure. Every time a new Marvel film comes out, there's usually two different kinds of 6-inch or 7-inch scale figures that come out along with it. The Hasbro Marvel Legends line and the Diamond Select Marvel Select line. And there's usually a debate among collectors about which one is the better figure, because Diamond Selects usually has better sculpting, and I find that Hasbro's got better articulation. But sometimes the Hasbro figures have better sculpting as well. And I'd say for the most part that's the case with this, because the body looks really good, but I do take issue with the helmet quite a bit. If we go in for a closer look at the helmet, you can see here that they opted for the open mouth position, which is maybe pretty accurate to the old comics, but you can see the front of his helmet also has this little gap here, with the face piece slid forward. But I prefer seeing the mouthpiece actually over the mouth, and just not as dynamic of a head. But I do think they did a good job with the paint. Like the red paint on it looks good, and the actual sculpt of the helmet, of what you actually see, is pretty solid. I do wish that the mouthpiece just looked a little more like it does in the movie. Sometimes they get these designs so early in the design phase that they have to get them out in time for the movie so things don't reflect how the final product is. Or sometimes it's just bad sculpting. Like if you look at his nose, like the helmet doesn't come to a point like Batman's does here. It actually kind of points downward, like with the nose kind of going up. I don't know how to describe it properly, but it doesn't come downward to this point. It's like the opposite. So it's not a totally accurate helmet. Having said that, it's still cool, just, the overall design of it, but I think they did a great job with his suit. I mean, first of all, the paint, the silver, the black, the red, is very clean and well separated on this figure, but also the actual sculpt of all the gack, really, really strong. Also the ripples right there on the shoulder and on the chest creates kind of a fabric-y effect to this sculpt, and I think they did a great job with that, including the textures under his little rib cage area there. But even the orange paint stays within the lines along his gauntlets and on his belt, and that dark kind of wash along the metal to create kind of a metallic look, kind of a dirty, aged look. Really, really strong. Now along his pants, they continue with the fabric sculpt, and that's good. Red paint is strong. Overall, I gotta say, paint solid, sculpt and design very, very solid on this figure. Articulation includes the hinged ankles, the swivel at the ankles, also double knee joints, and I like the knee pads there. You got a mid-thigh cut and the ball-hinged waist. You've got the mid-torso. You can pivot it there. That's good. So there's the hinge there, and then the hinge at the chest, which I dig, which is great for more like action-y, dynamic-y poses when you kind of cock the head up and the chest down. Looks cool. You got the ball-hinged shoulder with the bicep cut, the double elbow joint, and then the swiveling hinged wrist with the hinge built into the wrist that goes side to side. And I dig that. I also dig the sculpt of his hands, that they're in these kind of action poses. I hate when they're like grip hands and they come with nothing to grip. So overall, I think the pose on this figure, like the sculpt on this figure and the posability is really, really good with some really strong articulation. This figure comes with 4 accessories, only 3 of which are relevant to Ant-Man himself. This is part of the Build-A-Figure series, and it comes with the Ultron Build-A-Figure head. And I mean, I gotta admit, it looks semi-accurate to what Ultron's head looks like in 6-inch scale form. It's a pretty simple design, but if you're building this figure, I'm not, but if you are, it's a pretty good head. Now he also comes with this little tiny Yellow Jacket figure, and you can see just how freaking tiny it is compared to like my thumb. But it's got a pretty good little sculpt and pose if you look at it. Like, it's pretty dynamic, and the little yellow paint on it's pretty good. It can't stand. I mean, well, it does stand. What the hell do I know? I was trying this earlier, didn't stand, so whatever. He also comes with a little tiny Ant-Man figure, and I think the helmet, considering how little this is, the helmet looks pretty good, and the red paint on it's good, the silver paint's good. But yeah, I'm impressed with this little tiny figure. I mean, it's not much, but the fact that you can kind of make out his helmet shape impresses me. Now he also comes with this ant figure. It's nothing to write home about, like it's nothing super detailed. You're not going to be very impressed by it, but it is still cool and nice that they included it. Like you see just how simple the wings are, how simple the sculpt is. But one thing that's awesome about it is that you can take the little Ant-Man figure, pop him right on the neck there, and he can ride the ant around. I think that is pretty damn cool. And here's a close-up look at Ant-Man riding the ant. Well, as close as I can get with this camera. I just want you guys to be able to see it up close, because I do think it's pretty cool. All in all, I like this figure. Now, Ant-Man himself doesn't come with any accessories. He doesn't come with like any guns or weapons or tools or an alternate head. So for 20 bucks, you might be disappointed that he doesn't come with any accessories. But the figure itself comes with some pretty cool accessories, I think. I think the little Ant-Man and the ant and the yellow jacket are a really nice touch. If I have any complaints, besides the helmet, it's that the articulation is pretty loose on mine. The mid-thigh cut, the ankle joints, the hinges at the waist are all really, really loose. It's hard to get them to stand properly. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this. Thanks for watching.